In this particular palmistry video, we would be purely talking about marriage line. This is the main topic out here. The person asked that she's experiencing trouble in marriage. So, so this is what we will be talking about. Before we start, the thing is that I try to give realistic readings. I try to give reasons to whatever I say. I don't try to just say anything. And those reasons should be basically easy to understand. We shouldn't make palmistry very complicated. We should try to give reasons that the other person would agree with, not something that we just say anything. These people, these days, what's happening is that many people are creating fake signs, and fake signs are of no use. It basically complicates the palmistry. So now heading back to this particular hand that we have, just take a look at this particular slide. It's a very important slide. To be successful, you need desires, money management, energy, vitality. These are the qualities that are required. Only then the person is likely to be successful. So these are basically the questions normally people ask. So coming back to this particular hand, this particular lady basically sent me the side profile thinking that these attachment lines that we are referring to, they would talk about our marriage prospects and how our marriage is likely to be. The thing is that yes, we need to look at these attachment lines. They are called as attachment lines and many people call them as marriage lines. See, the difference between it is that not every line would convert into a marriage. Every line doesn't mean that those many relationships that particular person may have. A person may have 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, and yet the person could be. There is a possibility that the person may never marry at all. And even if a person does have one single line, it is also possible that the person may have multiple marriages. So what this actually means is this is purely an attachment towards somebody. One line means an attachment towards one person. Two lines basically means attachment towards two people, and a deep attachment. If these particular lines are deep and clear, the chances are that those particular emotions are likely to be much more deeper compared to when the line is very small and very thin kind. So that's what basically it means. We would briefly take a look at the other hand as well. In this particular hand also, you would find 3 particular lines. So this particular area is the first line that we look out here. This is the heart line, the emotions line. And the lines that are running really close by, those are the attachment lines. The first line is basically attachment line, the second is the second attachment, and the third is the third attachment line. Now the first line is very small. So this particular portion is when in the earlier portion of their life, a person may have got attached to somebody, may have loved somebody, but it would not have lasted long. The second line is a little bit longer. So that particular attachment would have lasted much more longer, and the third is even longer, and it does have a small branch over it. So branching of the attachment line downward pointing towards the heart line is a little bit negative. Don't be alarmed when we say a negative. See, the thing is that our relationships are very tough. Each and everyone's relationships are very tough kind of relationships, and we have to listen to the other person. We have to provide for that particular person. So it's a basically tough thing to maintain a good relationship. You need to have everything in your life. It's not just love and love. It is also many other things that go into a relationship. So the downward trend could mean that the relationship is being pulled downwards. Imagine the top of the palm to be the sky and the bottom portion to be the earth and the gravity, and this is just a rod, and that rod is being pulled downwards by a rope. So it is basically a negative sign that that particular relation is kind of pulling this particular person downward a little bit. But many people have this, and it doesn't mean that the person may go for a divorce. It is just possible that there are some problems, some nagging problems that would remain, but the relationship can still continue. Now, to look for relationships and your marriage, we also have to look at your heart line. This is the heart line that we are referring to. This is the heart line. Now, in the initial period of the heart line, you would notice that there are few branches out here. This is all okay. It basically means love towards children. This is what basically it means. Having these branches somewhere out here is considered to be reasonably okay, and the children may get attracted towards this particular person. But as the line moves a little bit forward, you would notice that there are few branches that are hanging downwards towards the headline. This is basically the headline, and they are not one branch, but they are multiple branches. Some of them are long. This particular is a long branch which is almost touching the heart line. Even this one, this is a short one, but the other ones are, some of them are kind of straight, and some branches are something like this. So the branches that are hanging downwards is something like your heart. This is, imagine this is your physical heart. It is being pulled downwards by a rope. Small branch means a small rope. A long branch basically means a longer rope with more weight hanging onto it. So what's going to happen? It's going to pull the heart downwards. It basically means is that these lines that I'm referring to, these branches on the heart line, this basically means attachments. What does attachment give? Attachment brings in expectations. Expectations are not fulfilled. That's a reason why disappointment may creep in, and our performance goes down because anger and aggression basically creeps into our relationship. So in a way, this is a negative sign as far as relationships goes. And even if it is concerning your work life also, it means getting distracted. Now, getting distracted or maybe flirtatious by nature. Flirtatious doesn't necessarily mean like having an extramarital affair. It doesn't mean that. It could just mean not being able to focus your energies towards one thing. It could be a relationship or a partnership or your profession as well. So this is basically just a tendency that is there, and we have to basically somehow manage it. Now the person may think that the relationship that I am in right now I am in a relationship, so this is not a good relationship. I want to get out of it and probably find another one. The thing is that having these branches over the heartline would always bring in expectations in your relationship, and they would bring disappointment. Do not think that your partner is bad. Don't think that all the time that your partner is bad. It is basically our own nature where there could also be few flaws, and that's the reason why stress and anxiety would constantly be there throughout your life. Some portion, in some way or the other, it's basically going to remain there. Now the other aspect to look for is that this is the heart line, and the heart line is a little bit short, so having a short heart line is still good. And the heart line is kind of curving out here, so curvature in the heart line, this is the main, this is the branch. So when there's a curvature out here, so it makes a person temperamental, it makes a person expressive with their emotions. So if the person is happy, the person is going to express those emotions in a really major way. And if the person is sad, so the person really goes sad. So this is basically expressing your emotions more freely. This is what basically it means. The other aspect is regarding the heart line. This is the heart line, and there are few horizontal kind of lines out here. Now these lines are kind of sister lines, these are which are kind of running parallel to the heart line. These are sister lines to the heart line. And when a line kind of forms something like this formation, so it is considered to be a girdle of Venus. So probably we find that there is a girdle of Venus. Now, girdle of Venus, the basically property of the girdle of Venus is that it encircles these fingers and runs parallel to the heart line, which automatically means that the person would become like very hysterical. The emotions are going to be hysterical. When the person is happy, the person is really happy. When the person is down, the person would feel that they are really going deep down. So for a relationship, these kind of emotions does bring about some problem or the other. So the partner may be okay, but we may feel that things are not going according to our wishes, and we might not feel the best, not just with them but with other people as well. Now, this area that we are referring to, this area is the area of Mars area. Mars basically is a red planet. Red means anger, aggression, and fire. So any portion of your palm, if there are many crisscrossing lines over it, as you see in this particular case, so it basically would mean that that particular area gets overworked. Even out here, you would notice that there are more lines out here. So this is the area for Mars negative. This is just a name, and this area is the area of planes of Mars. Planes of Mars is the area of your temper, like tempering of salt. So same area, temper. So more lines over the area of planes of Mars means that our temper may go uncontrolled. So we have to control our temper. The second thing is, and when you're tempering your salt, so what's going to happen is that if there's too much heat, too much variation, so your tempering might go wrong. So tempering going wrong with the salt basically means it becomes more brittle, and when it becomes more brittle, the possibility of it breaking increases. So same you could basically apply in the relationship as well. So we have to basically remain more cool. And the area for Mars, as I mentioned, Mars is a red planet. Red means anger, aggression, and fire. So we need to reduce our aggression, because more lines over a particular mount basically increases or decreases the quality of that particular mount. And having more lines over the mount of Mars means untargeted fire. So this area is overworking, and overworking basically increases more fire in that particular area. So try to reduce the anger and aggression. Probably that could help you in attaining a better relationship, because more lines out here would make the person volatile, and volatile in every sphere of their life, in the relationship part also and the other part also. The good part about the hand is that the headline after the age of 35 and onwards, it's kind of swinging upward. So in that way it is good. So things do happen according to the person's wishes, and this could also do with every other aspect of your life, relationship or your work wise, every portion it is considered to be good. Imagine the headline moving against the gravity and moving towards the sky means upliftment of your mind. That means something good things are happening. That's the reason why things are likely to be good in the relationship also after the age of 35. But there are some hiccups, because these lines are kind of touching out here from the area of Mars, kind of horizontal lines, and touching the headline or even in the earlier portion. So these are basically constant small problems that are likely to be there throughout, not just once but throughout the life. Small things are likely to remain. Now this is basically the right hand. In the right hand also, I wouldn't basically repeat the things that I've repeated, but still for reference sake, girdle of Venus, the person is basically hysterical, uncontrolled emotions, and the person is happy, the person is sad. So constantly these emotions are running. So these emotions need to be removed from the life. On the heart line, there are branches over these. So distractions, losing focus, and stress and anxiety building up. So need to reduce all these kind of things. Mars area basically a little bit marked. So anger and aggression needs to be controlled. The temper needs to be controlled. The stomach needs to be controlled. See, stomach, because the area of fire is Mars, and if there are too many lines over the Mars, too much fire is there. And where is fire, maximum fire in our body? It's in the stomach. So if you control the effects on the stomach, things are likely to be better. As far as the heart line goes, to improve upon your heart thing, you need to do the right thing, eat at the right time, sleep at the right time, have a very systematic kind of a life. Then things can become better, because and eating less salt and sugar could also help you. Meditating could help you. Walking can help you. Doing yoga can also help you. So whatever negative aspects that we see of stress and anxiety on your heartline, they may get reduced due to a controlled kind of environment. The good part is that your headline is strong. So headline strong basically strengthens the mind, and whatever problems that we may see on your heartline may not get affected. Try also to understand that, just for reference sake, I've explained to you that these branches, this is the heartline and their branches. As such, the heartline is all okay, but many people might have even worse kind of heartline. They have got a very hazy kind of a heartline. These broken up into pieces, islanded. Many other things are much more negative compared to even this particular line. Just for explanation purpose, I have been explaining this particular aspect of your heartline. So don't take anything in extreme. As far as the other aspect goes, and that is your money line. Now the money line can also talk about your relationship as well. This is basically the money line. I'm just drawing the money line, so just give me one moment. I'm just going to, so this is the line of money, this is the headline, this is the heart line. So this intersection is of the head and the money line is age 35. This intersection is age 53. This portion is before the age of 35, 35 to 53, and this is 53 and beyond. Okay, so coming back to the earlier portion of the age 35, you would notice that the money line is kind of breaking out here, another one developing out here, and this two basically breaking, and another one developing, and this one basically continues till the age of 53. So there are two breaks, one break out here and the other break out here. Now I don't know the age of this particular person. I would ask this particular person at a later stage what the age is. The thing is that having a breakout here means having few problems that may originate at these particular points, and all these things are happening before the age of 30, and this also kind of breaking at the age of 35, and another one developing from the age of 33, and that basically continues till the age of 53. So I'll just zoom into this particular so that you can see it much more clearly. See the break on the money line, what basically it means. Break basically means an abrupt ending in the work that we have been doing. Now you would wonder why we are looking at the money line for your relationship or your marriage. The thing is that everything is interconnected. Your money line can talk about the relationship, your heart line can talk about your finances as well, as I have explained. Too many branches means flirtatious. Flirtatious means the person is going to get distracted. The person may feel that grass is always greener on the other side, and they would constantly keep on changing. But coming back out here, break basically on the money line could mean job loss, work loss, business loss. This is the first thing. The second thing could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down, so more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. And the third thing could be one's relationships may develop few problems, and once relationship develops problems, what's going to happen is it's going to affect your work life as well. So the first break happens before the age of 35, somewhere out here, so around the age of probably 28, 29, the second break happens somewhere out here. So around the age of 30, 31, 32 approximately. Then this also breaks at the age of 35. So these are where the problems may arise. So we need to just control. Also understand, having a break doesn't guarantee a divorce. Try to understand. Some people might think, oh, this is a short sign. No, these are not. These could be just purely and purely like there's a job loss, work loss, business loss. And once you don't have, there are problems in the money, is going to affect the relationship. But somehow, if with our wisdom, if we are able to somehow manage our relationship, so what's going to happen is that it's not going to go so bad. If we are able to somehow be more understanding and things like that, so things are likely to remain intact. So we have to be wise, and we have to control our emotions. And when there is trouble, so we have to basically control that aspect as well. Now, looking at the length of the mercury finger, whenever a little bit short, it is not touching the top line of the ring finger. This is the top line of the ring finger. This is the ring finger. The person is wearing a ring out here, but the ring finger is known as the sun finger, this particular finger. So when the mercury finger is short, not reaching the top line of the ring finger, the person may create distance between their near and dear ones. So this is a general thing. If the mercury finger is long, it means that the person is able to have good network with people who are really close by, like family, friends, and everybody, and unknown people as well. So it's something like a communication tower. A long communication tower does have a wider reach over people, and even people who are really close by, like family, friends, even there the person's signals are received and emitted and received. So all these things are there. But when the mercury finger is short, it means that the communication tower is small. So they may have a reach over people who are far away, but people who are really close by out here, standing really close, there the person may not be able to receive or emit their signals. So there's a problem with people who are really close by. Now, even this particular finger that we are referring to is a little bit short, but it doesn't appear to be really short. It's just, I would say, it's a little bit short. Some people might have some time till some portion till only out here. So that would basically mean that the person is kind of really, the problem is grave out there. The problem is really big when the finger of mercury is short, and the possibility of relationship issues developing out there increases. Now, the finger of Saturn is also comparatively longer compared to the Jupiter and the Sun finger. So there's an abnormality of length of the Saturn finger, which is long. Now, the Saturn is the finger for money, possessions, wealth, wisdom, responsibility. Now, any finger or any mount shouldn't be extra developed nor underdeveloped. When it is extra developed, it gets more of those particular qualities. So Saturn is more to do with, it's a planet that basically takes a long time to encircle the sun. Okay, so basically when the finger is long, it would mean that it's taking more time to encircle the sun. So it's something to do with delays in one's life, delays, depression, and so negative qualities of Saturn basically creep in. And being very quiet, and Saturn is all about quietness and loneliness. So all these things basically develop to some degree or the other. It doesn't mean to a very high degree, but to some degree or the other, these qualities may develop. I would just end the video out here. Mostly things I've covered out here. Same you can see in this hand also, the Saturn finger is very long. And the mercury finger is a little bit short. So a little bit short doesn't mean too much of a problem. It's just for reference sake, I have explained to you try to explain to you every aspect of the palm. The area, the last area that is there is the area of Venus. Venus is the area of love, energy, stamina, vitality, and the desires. And there are too many if there are too many markings over this particular area, crisscrossing lines, that the person may misuse their energy, their stamina, vitality. So in a way, having less lines is always better than having more lines over it. So I would advise the person not to misuse their fire and not to misuse their fuel. This is the area for fuel and energy. In the breaks that we saw on the money line in the left hand doesn't appear out here. It may be just appearing somewhere. The money line, it continues, and out here it kind of breaks at the age of 35. So there is a problem somewhere around the age of 35, but probably not beyond that. And because there's also supporting kind of money lines, so it helps the person basically sail through in their life and having good amount of income, everything in their life. So I would end the video out here. Thanks for watching. Bye and take care. If you do have questions, you can get back to me and with your questions. Bye and take care.